Welcome to Private Money Secrets. I'm Keith Yackey and I'm your host, and all we talk about here is private money, real estate, and some other fun stuff. Grab your favorite beverage. Let's dive in. Yo, another episode of the Private Money Secrets. I'm Keith, I'm your host, and listen. People have asked me for the last 12 years, what got you into real estate investing? What was it that drew you to this? And all I can say is to quote the great American poet Joe Rogan, dollar bills, y'all. That is actually what initially got me. That's what initially got me interested in thinking, man, I want to make money doing something that seems to be fun, that doesn't seem that difficult. Little did I know. And, man, I wanted to get out of what I was doing. I was working construction at the time. I was actually doing insurance at the time. And it was the first time I was really away nights and weekends from my kids because I had been a pastor. So I had a lot of free time to be with my kids and to integrate with them and to be with them and to be their dad. So when I stepped away from the pastorate, which probably sounds like another episode of a podcast, I went back to doing construction and I wasn't enjoying it that much, to say the least. So what happened from there was my mom, she had been struggling with cancer for quite a few years, like 3. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go back and spend some time with her. They had given her basically 90 days to live. So I went back and spent quite a bit of time with her, and I was selling insurance in her area. Little did I know how much she loved reality TV shows. So when I would hang out with her, she had a sunroom that they brought the hospice bed in, and she really was on her last leg. And it wasn't pretty. So I would just kind of hop in bed with her and we would watch this TV show called Flip This House. And there was a bunch of different characters on there. And in all reality, those reality TV shows make it seem like everything is a absolute, oh my God, if we don't fix this right now, we're going to lose all the money. Like, they really make it overly dramatic. If you don't meet your budget, if you go over your budget by $50, it's like, oh my God, the deal's going to break. Or if we don't get it done by this specific date. Well, any of us who are in real estate investing know that sometimes budgets go a little over, sometimes timelines go a little over, and it's really no big deal. But this guy we saw in there, he was horrible with people. Like, he just was yelling at contractors and causing all sorts of just drama for your mama on this TV show. And I remember my mom looking at me, and she looked at me. She knew I had a lot of construction experience, and she said, Keith, I really believe you can do that. I'm like, Mama, I know for a fact I could do that, but I think I could do a lot better because this guy obviously has no idea how to deal with people. And that's what really kind of stirred me to think. So I looked into this guy. I found out that he had a program, bought the program, and I just followed it to a T. And I think that for those of you who might be new to investing or you guys are looking for a career change, I know for me, I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to do my own thing. I was tired of listening to other people. I didn't really like selling insurance. And I thought, okay, let's go. Let's take a run at this. But I was smart enough to know at that point in my life, because I had hired other mentors for other things, that the fastest way to get where you want to go is to hire somebody who's done it at a very high level and just follow their protocol. Now, here I am 12 years later, and when I look back at his protocol, it was pretty sophomoric. It was very basic. It didn't have any of the details or nuances that you really learn from being in the business, but at least it was a recipe. At least it was a blueprint for me to follow at the beginning. And so 2 years later, having flipped 185 properties, made a bunch of money, I was off to the races. But I'll tell you, the thing that got me into real estate was wanting to have freedom, wanting to have time. But it was really my mom pushing me from her deathbed. When she looked in my eyes, said, Keith, I'm passing on to this next life, and I have regrets. I didn't become who I wanted to become. I didn't do all the things I wanted to do professionally and personally. And I'm begging you to do what's in your heart so that you can live a life of no regrets. It's where the mantra for me in my life, living a life of no regrets, came from. I still think about it. I still say that mantra a lot. Hey, Keith, no regrets. Let's go after what we want. Let's go after what's important. I was scared like anybody else. It was new. It's new. There was a new language. There was stuff I didn't understand. But all I knew was this, is I couldn't stop watching these videos. I couldn't stop wanting to learn about all these things, this thing called real estate investing. I wanted to know it so bad. In fact, so early on, I was afraid to raise private money. I had no idea what to do. And I had this mantra in my brain, and that is raising private money is easy. I'm a private money machine. Yes, those are things I would say when I would be driving to meet new private investors. I'm a private money machine. Raising private money is easy. I had to trick my brain into not making it more complicated than it really was. Now, I send a text, hey, we got a deal. You're interested? Boom. People are ready to rock and roll. But back then, it wasn't that way. And I want to encourage you that if you're discouraged or you think, oh, man, I'm not a natural at raising private money, let me tell you that nobody's a natural. Nobody's a natural. People always think that I was a natural. People always are like, oh, Keith, this is easy for you. No, it wasn't. Raising private money is a skill, like anything. And I love that it's a skill because that means you can get better at it. You can get better at it. And guess what? You're probably going to suck at first, a little bit. But as long as you're willing to say, hey, if I put some effort in this and I know that I can suck less, then that's what will happen. You'll get better at it. You might fumble the ball a little bit at the beginning. I know I did. And then a little while later, you'll suck less. And then you'll suck a little less. And then you'll suck a little less. And then you're going to suck so much less that people will be like, wow, you're really good at this thing. Listen, I have trained and taught thousands of people my methods on how to raise private money. They were not all extroverts. They were not all introverts. Some of them had experience. A lot of them did not have experience. And so when I finally got great at raising private money, and now to this day I've raised close to $50 million, I can tell you that I've had to really tweak the way I do it or really tweak the way I teach it so that it's not just people that are like me who are extroverted, but true introverts. In fact, I get the question a lot, is an extrovert better at raising private money than an introvert? And the truth is no, not really. In fact, extroverts can kind of sound a bit hypey. And to an introvert, listening to an extrovert try and raise private money from them, they might think, oh, this guy's hyping it up way too much, man. He needs to chill out and calm down. Give me some more facts, not all this drama, dude. Whereas an introvert raising from another introvert, no problem. They speak each other's language. But even an extrovert listening to an introvert can always appreciate the level of detail and the level of certainty that an introvert can bring. It's not about your method of communication per se, whether you're extroverted or introverted, whether you use your hands a lot when you talk or you don't, but it's the certainty with which you speak. So whether you're an introvert or whether you're an extrovert, I want to encourage you this day that regardless of where your skill is at right now, it can be better. I was horrible when I started, but I kept going. I kept learning. I kept practicing. I kept reaching out. I kept talking. I kept opening my mouth. And I knew that if I could get good at this skill, I would never be broke again. And that's the truth. This is a skill you can learn, folks. That's my story. That's how I started. Cancer is what pushed me into this trade. Hope to live a life of no regrets. And I can tell you 12 years later, that is exactly how it's worked out. If you need help, you know where to go. PrivateMoneyPro.com. Let me help you. This is another episode. Signing off. Go crush it. Live a life of no regrets. All right, so if you're wanting to learn how to raise more private money, go to www.privatemoneypro.com, www.privatemoneypro.com, where I can show you how to be a private money pro. Take care and go rock it.